Okay, happy Ekadashi. What is the name of our Ekadashi today?
Annada.
Annada Ekadashi. Full marks to Hima for the first answer. सबसे पहला बजर इन्होंने नहीं दबाया. Okay, so KK songs Radha Krishna Pran Mora. निकला सबका? राधा कृष्ण प्राण मोरा जुगल किशोर. राधा कृष्ण प्राण मोरा जुगल किशोर. जीवाने मराणे गति यार नहीं मोर. जीवाने मराणे गति यार नहीं मोर. राधा कृष्ण प्राण मोरा जुगल किशोर. राधा कृष्ण प्राण मोरा जुगल किशोर. कालिंदीर कूले केली कदंबेर वना. रतन मृदीरा बोसाबे दुजना. रतन बेदीरा बोसाबे दुजना. राधा कृष्ण प्राण मोरा जुगल किशोर. राधा कृष्ण प्राण मोरा जुगल किशोर. श्याम गौरी अंगे दीपो चंदनेर गंधा. चामर ढूला तो कबे तेरी मुख चंद्र. चामर ढूला तो कबे तेरी मुख चंद्र. राधा कृष्ण प्राण मोरा जुगल किशोर. राधा कृष्ण प्राण मोरा जुगल किशोर. गाठिया माला तीर माला दीपो दो हर गले. गाठिया माला तीर माला दीपो दो हर गले. अधरे तुलिया दिबो कर्पूर तांबूले. अधरे तुलिया दिबो कर्पूर तांबूले. राधा कृष्ण प्राण मोरा जुगल किशोर. राधा कृष्ण प्राण मोरा जुगल किशोर. ललिता विशाखादि जट सखी वृंदा. अज्ञाय कोई बो सेवा चरण रविंदा. अज्ञाय कोरीबो सेवा चरण रविंदा. राधा कृष्ण प्राण मोरा जुगल किशोर. श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु दासरनुदास. श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु दासरनुदास. सेवाभिलाष करे नरोत्तम दास सेवाभिलाष करे नरोत्तम दास राधा कृष्ण प्राण मोरा जुगल किशोर राधा कृष्ण प्राण मोरा जुगल किशोर जीवने मरणे गति हारो नाही मोर जीवने मरणे गति हारो नाही मोर राधा कृष्ण प्राण मोरा जुगल किशोर राधा कृष्ण प्राण मोरा जुगल किशोर हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम् वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान सहगण ललिता श्री विशाखावतांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीन बंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुस्ते देवी परमामि हरे प्रिय पंचाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिंधुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जयतां सूरतो पंगोर्मम मंदमतेर्गति मत्सर्वस्वपदाम्बुजो राधा मदन मोहन दिव्यद्वृन्दारण्य कल्पद्रुमाधः श्रीमद्रत्नागार सिंहासनस्थौ श्रीमद्राधा श्रीलगोविन्ददेवौ पृष्ठालिभिः सेव्यमानौ स्मरामि श्रीमान् रासरसाम्भि वंशीवटतटस्थितः कर्शन वेणुस्वनैर् गोपिर्गोपीनाथः श्रीयस्तु नः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि सादि गौर भक्तवृंद अन्नदा एकादशी की जय वेलकम एवरीवन हाउ मेनी आर फास्टिंग ओके सो let's start with the verse. Is everybody okay? All good? Sorry?
Hare Krishna, yes, thank you. How are you?
Good, Vaiji. Where are you? Can't see you.
I've not turned my. Just give me a second.
Okay. Yeah, all well here. So, how many? Which verse did we do last?
I think 4.19.
18. We
18 or
stopped at
19?
18.
I
18.
thought 18 or 19.
So we finished 18 and 19 we
Yes.
had to do.
Yes. We finished 18. We have to do 19.
19. Okay.
Okay. नेहा बालों को क्या हुआ?
नहीं है कुछ भी नहीं, मैं नीचे रह के कर रही हूँ ना इसलिए क्यों झुक कर.
Okay,
जी
fine.
Hare
So 90. Hari bol. Good to see everybody's faces. So कहने को एकादशी थी, but we had a grand feast because it was also the Vyas Puja of His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj. So verse 19, YG,
Yeah, sure.
our verse Sevadhari.
Okay. Yasya sarve samarambhaha kama sankalpa varjitaha jnanagni dagda karmani tamahu panditam buddhaha. One is understood to be in full knowledge, whose every endeavor is devoid of desire for sense gratification. He is said by the sages to be a worker for whom the reactions of work have been burned up by the fire of perfect knowledge.
So such a clear cut desire for sense gratification. जिसमें नहीं है, all his sins are burnt up just by this one quality. I don't want any, I have no desire for sense gratification. So Prabhupada says only a person in full knowledge can understand the activities of a person in Krishna consciousness. Because the person in Krishna consciousness is devoid of all kinds of sense gratificatory propensities. It is to be understood that he has burned up the reactions of his work by perfect knowledge of his constitutional position as the eternal servitor of Krishna. He is actually learned who has attained to such perfection of knowledge. Development of this knowledge of eternal servitorship to the Lord is compared to fire. Such a fire, once kindled, can burn up all kinds of reactions to work. So, in short, the practical application of this verse is काम बंद नहीं करना है, काम करते रहना है, सिर्फ फल की इच्छा नहीं करनी, इच्छा ही नहीं करनी है. Basically, you will work just as the maid in your house works, है ना? मालिक ने बोला है तो साफ करना है, तो वो काम करना है, and that's it. I mean, I don't think they are trained or they have been groomed in such a way that, oh, today I've scrubbed hard, so I should get some special inam today. Is that the expectation, or do we treat them also like that? I don't think so, isn't it? Regardless of what they do every day, they have to do it day after day without expecting anything in return. And this is exactly how we have to live our lives as well. But इसका सबसे बड़ा advantage क्या है? Maid को तो remuneration ही मिलेगा at the end of the month, but devotee को क्या मिलता है? All his karmic bank balance is burned in this fire that has been ignited. He gets no, जो previous anarthas, sinful actions हैं, उनका reaction भी जल जाता है, और जो currently कर रहे हैं, उनका reaction भी जल जाता है, और जो future में होगा, उसका reaction भी जल जाता है. So his slate is clean, so that when Yamaraj comes, he is ready to go back home, back to Godhead. So that's a very big result, a very big reward, is it not? So we'll understand in the coming verses what he elaborates more on this. Verse 20, YG.
Tyaktva karma phala sangam nitya tripto nirashayah karmanyabhi pravrittopi naiva kinchit karoti saha. Abandoning all attachment to the results of his activities, ever satisfied and independent, he performs no fruitive action, although engaged in all kinds of undertakings.
So this freedom from the bondage of actions is possible only in Krishna consciousness when one is doing everything for Krishna. A Krishna conscious person acts out of pure love for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and therefore he has no attraction for the results of the action. He is not even attached to his personal maintenance, for everything is left to Krishna. Nor is he anxious to secure things, nor to protect things already in his possession. He does his duty to the best of his ability and leaves everything to Krishna. Such an unattached person is always free from the resultant reactions of good and bad. It is as though he were not doing anything. This is the sign of akarma. So literally people may say, akarma matlab kar bhi mat karo. No, that is not what it means. That's a misinterpretation. Akarma means doing your work but expecting nothing in return. Any other action, therefore, devoid of Krishna consciousness is binding upon the worker, and that is the real aspect of vikarma. So, Bhurijan Prabhu says that we should not give up work. We should just be satisfied by our dutiful work, and we should give up the attachment to the fruits of the work. So, this work actually describes a sadhak, sadhana kar rahe hain, or one who is endeavoring for perfection. The perfection of this consciousness is now explained. Next two verses 21 and 22 में इसका practical application दिया जाएगा. So abandoning all attachment to the results of his activities, you can get some idea. I mean, it's difficult to grasp कि इसमें करना क्या है, कैसे करना है. So you can take the example of a mother. When she's raising her infant baby, we all are mothers. So अगर आप याद करें अपने initial days when your baby was just born, in the initial years, he is completely dependent on you for his complete well-being, isn't it? आप खिलाएंगे तो खाएगा, आप नहलाएंगे तो नहाएगा. Everything, unless you do, he will not get that benefit. But day in and day out, as we are nursing the child, waking up in the night, and tolerating all the inconveniences, do we have any bhav in our heart that we are doing him a favor? Do we expect anything in return from that child? No, isn't it? We just do it out of love. In fact, wo jitna bhi tang karta hai, we still our love for the child increases, even if we have had sleepless nights, or the baby is sick and we are also becoming sick trying to take care of the child. Never do we expect, you better now do something for me. ठीक होने के बाद अब तू मेरी टांगे दबाएगा, ये तू मेरा ध्यान रखेगा. That bhav never comes. This is exactly how we need to live our lives as well. I mean, this example can give you an idea whenever you are confused. Okay, how do you live? How do you work without expectations of results, fruitive activities? Just like a mother cares for the child, expecting nothing in return, day after day, year after year after year. This should be and this is actually real love. So you can understand how far we are from loving Krishna. ऐसी feeling तो नहीं है ना भी कृष्णा के लिए. So we don't really have love for him. And right now तो हमारा give and take relationship है उनके साथ. मैं आपका जाप करूँगा, आपके लिए एकादशी रखूंगा, बदले में मेरा ये सब, मेरे ये काम ठीक रखना. ठीक है, मेरे परिवार वाले ठीक रहे, मेरी सेहत को कुछ नहीं होना चाहिए, हो भी गया तो ठीक कर देना. Okay? And so that's not a karam. Okay, next verse will give you more clarity. YG?
निराशीरयत चित्तात्मा त्यक्त सर्व परिग्रहः शारीरं केवलं कर्म कुर्वन्नाप्नोति किल्बिषम्. Such a man of understanding acts with mind and intelligence perfectly controlled, gives up all sense of proprietorship over his possessions, and acts only for the bare necessities of life. Thus working, he is not affected by sinful reactions.
Kilbisham. Sinful reactions. So, Kurvan napnoti kilbisham. Thus working, he is not affected by sinful reactions. So let's read the purport. A Krishna conscious person does not expect good or bad results in his activities. His mind and intelligence are fully controlled. He knows that because he is part and parcel of the Supreme, the part played by him as a part and parcel of the whole is not his own activity, but is only being done through him by the Supreme. When the hand moves, it does not move out of its own accord, but by the endeavor of the whole body. A Krishna conscious person is always dovetailed with the supreme desire, for he has no desire for personal sense gratification. He moves exactly like a part of a machine. See, he has given two very wonderful examples, Prabhupada. First example is that of a hand. Okay. This hand that I have raised right now does not have a will of its own. It is being governed by the owner of this hand. So the hand cannot say that, look, kal tak bahut maine aapka kehna maan liya. From today, I'll do what I want. No. Forever, it will be under the control of the owner. And it will do exactly as per the wish of the owner. It does not have any wish or desire of its own. Correct? Each part of our body, both my hands, both my legs, have to listen to me at all times. Correct? My ears, my eyes have to obey me. Whatever I want to see, they will see. Correct? This is Nishkam Karma Yoga. This is the way to understand how we have to become just an instrument to Krishna's will. It is in our benefit if we don't have our own will, but we use ourselves just like as if we are his hands. Krishna has made this universe and all of us are his hands and legs. So if the hands and legs follow the command of the owner, it is in the benefit of the hands and legs. Isn't it? अपनी मर्जी चलाएंगे तो कट जाएंगे. मशीन चलानी तो आती नहीं है. मशीन चलाने वाले कौन है? Krishna. He is engaging his various hands and legs in the machine according to his will, and he knows perfectly well इनको कैसे बचाना है. Correct? So if the hands and legs follow the owner, the instructions of the owner, तो वो बचे रहेंगे. अगर वो बोलेंगे कि नहीं हमें आपको नहीं, we are also intelligent, हम अपने आप करेंगे, तो वो it won't be long before they get cut by different parts of the machine. So नुकसान किसका है? So अगर वो हमें अपने अंडर कंट्रोल के अंडर रख रहे हैं, इसमें बेनिफिट सबसे ज्यादा किसका है? हमारा. Our safety depends on it, isn't it? Otherwise we are in danger. Contrary to the belief that the whole world is living now. Freedom, all kinds of freedom we are fighting for. That actually is not freedom. That's a very unsafe position. And दूसरा example उन्होंने दिया, like the parts of a machine. Just see. He moves exactly, a Krishna conscious person moves exactly like the part of a machine, like a nut and bolt. हमारी consciousness होनी चाहिए कि ये जो wheel है, पूरी सृष्टि का wheel जो चल रहा है, उस wheel के हम nuts and bolts हैं. Wheel चलाने वाला कोई और है, चल भी उसकी मर्जी से रहा है. हमारा रोल सिर्फ उसमें नट और बोल्ट का है, हम लगे रहें अपनी जगह पे, वहां से ढीले ना हो. बिकॉज अगर हमने अपनी जगह छोड़ दी तो वो जो सृष्टि का पहिया है वो डगमगाने लगेगा, एंड इट इज आवर फॉल्ट दैट वी डिड नॉट प्ले द पार्ट ऑफ आवर रोल ऑफ दैट ऑफ अ नट एंड बोल्ट. तो वॉट एवर नुकसान is generated by the malfunctioning of that wheel, उसका reaction हमें मिलेगा. Fair enough, isn't it fair? जब एक robotic arm बनाया जाता है, when an engineer makes a robotic arm, he designs the arm according to a specific function, isn't it? जो engineer है, robotic engineer है, उसके दिमाग के हिसाब से software डाला है, that this arm is only supposed to do this, pick up this from here, put it there. Pick up this from here, put it there. Now, if the arm says, "Oh, सारा काम तो मैं कर रहा हूँ, तुम कौन? मैं ही यहाँ से उठाता, मैं ही वहाँ रखता हूँ, चलो मैं अब तुम्हारी नहीं सुनता," and he puts it from here and throws it there, or picks it from here and throws it there, who is going to get the reaction for the damage that is done by this? Do you understand? Just by this, how important obedience is. I never knew the importance, the value of obedience. But it is so crucial for each of us to be obedient to the laws of nature so that nature works perfectly. Otherwise, we are interfering in the plan of nature. And उसके repercussions पर मिलते हैं और मिलेंगे ही. Is it not? ये न्यूयॉर्क में जो तूफान आ गया अचानक से और बेसमेंट में लोग डूब गए अपने ही घरों की, और हरिकेन आ गई, और अफगानिस्तान में जो हो रहा है, और इंडिया में जो हो रहा है, ये चांस थोड़ी है. It's not chance. It's not tukka. It's not, oh, this is seasons are changing. Oh, they are changing because of our interference in the laws of nature. Nature is perfect. Time पे season आता है, time पे फसल उगती है, time पे बारिश आती है. If you follow the rules, then the machinery designed by Krishna is perfect. आज तक हुआ in your living memory कि सूरज ना उगाओ टाइम पे? सूरज अपना काम बिल्कुल टाइम से कर रहा है because he is an obedient servant of Krishna. चंद्रमा अपना काम टाइम से कर रहा है because he is following the rules of Krishna. He is an obedient servant of the Lord. But we, the Chivas, हमारी सूरज और चंद्रमा जितनी भी हैसियत नहीं है, उससे भी हम कितने नीचे हैं. But the way, look at our attitudes. The way we take it for granted that the sun should give us this and the moon should give us this, and ये मौसम आज कुछ ज़्यादा खराब है, नहीं? मन नहीं, मज़ा नहीं आ रहा. You know, this is our attitude. Where is our attitude of that of a nut and bolt of a machine? Okay. So a Krishna conscious man maintains himself by his work just to remain fit for action in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. He is therefore immune to all the reactions of his endeavors. Like an animal, he has no proprietorship even over his own body. जो पालतू जानवर होते हैं, गाय, बकरी, कुत्ता, बिल्ली, those who have dogs and pets, they know that their pet does not have a will of their own. They have to go according to you, isn't it, Neha? नहीं कहना मानते तो थप्पड़ भी पड़ता है ना, नेहा?
हाँ जी.
Is that right?
हाँ जी.
I don't think you understood my question.
मेरा एकदम ना कान बंद हो गया, फिर को सुनाई नहीं दिया लास्ट को. I was just doing that.
You have a dog, right? You have a dog, right?
Yes.
What is his name?
His name is Zoe.
Zoe.
Yes.
So if Zoe does not follow your command or misbehaves, does he get a thappad from you?
He gets scolded.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So this is the position of a servant or of an animal that is dependent on its master. It has to go according to the will of the master, correct? And in return, the master takes care of all his needs. बीमार है तो दवाई, injection, भूखा है तो खाना, sad है तो company. All his needs are taken care of, correct, Neha? But if he misbehaves, mistakes, he starts biting the master or disobeying the master, what will the master do? What will you do, Neha?
I'll scold him. I'll tell him it's not the right thing to do. And
No, if he
probably
continues.
if I'll leave him somewhere, I'll tell him that, we don't want him.
Exactly. Exactly. They are removed from the shelter of the owner. Correct? Fair enough. Isn't that fair? कहना ही नहीं है जब मान रहे, दूसरों को भी डिस्टर्ब कर रहे हो अपने डिसोबीडियंस से, तो बोलेंगे गो फॉर करेक्शन, जेल जाओ, करेक्शन सेंटर में भेज दो इनको, जरा तमीज वमीज सीख के आए, फिर दोबारा आ सकते हैं. करेक्ट? तो ये पृथ्वी जो है करेक्शन सेंटर में भेजा गया है हम सब बदतमीज लोगों को, जो वहां पे डिसोबीडियंट थे, जो एक लार्जर प्लान चल रहा है सोशल सिस्टम का, उसमें इंटरफियर कर रहे हैं, उसमें कहना नहीं मान रहे हैं, डिसोबे कर रहे हैं, करेक्शन सेंटर में भेज दिया गया है. गो एंड लर्न हाउ टू बिहेव, लर्न कल्चर एंड एटिकेट, देन कम बैक. वापस भी बुला रहे हैं, कह रहे हैं ठीक है ले लूं, वापस ले आऊंगा. Is this giving you? We have to learn it in this harsh language, otherwise नहीं समझ में आएगा. We are so stubborn, so stubborn. Isn't it? Does it make sense? Does anybody have any objection to this?
No. बहुत अच्छे से समझ में आ गया वाला एग्जाम्पल कि we are pets on the earth.
इतना ब्लंटली आपने आज पुट अक्रॉस किया है, तभी आज समझ में आया. बिल्कुल, मतलब we also needed a थप्पड़.
थप्पड़ पड़ेगा नहीं तो.
आपने कभी इतना ब्लंटली क्यों नहीं बोला पहले?
अब आप मैच्योर हो गए हो ना.
नहीं तो हम ऊपर चले गए, हमने सब कुछ चीज सही से कर ली, हम ऊपर चले गए और फिर हमने ये सब किया वहां पे, तो हम फिर आ जाएंगे नीचे.
Yes, 100%.
तो ये तो बहुत ही और फिर हम बिल्कुल नए से चालू करेंगे. अभी तो हम जो चलो पास्ट कर्मा कुछ है और हमें समझ में आ रहा है और हम अभी इसमें है, फिर तो हमें बहुत स्ट्रगल करना पड़ेगा. तो ये तो स्ट्रगल तो फिर कभी खत्म ही नहीं होगा.
तुमने वो कहावत सुनी है, दूध का जला छाछ को भी फूक फूक के पीता है?
मतलब ये कह रहे हो कि हम चांसेस कम है क्योंकि हम कम नहीं आएंगे.
Once bitten, twice shy. Yes. एक बार 84 का चक्कर भुगतने के बाद कानों को हाथ लगाता है. Never again, Krishna, never, 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 ever, ever will I disobey you, go against you, ever. And look at Prabhupada. So as a machine part requires oiling and cleaning for maintenance, so a Krishna conscious man maintains himself by his work, just to remain fit for action. So ये हमारी जो नौकरी है, बच्चे पालने हैं, परिवार पालना है, ये सिर्फ हमारी मशीन की मेंटेनेंस के लिए दिया गया है काम, कि निठल्ले बैठे जंग लग जाएगा, इसलिए ये लो, बच्चे पाल लो, पति को पाल लो, रिश्तेदार पाल लो. बट दिस इज ओनली टू मेंटेन एंड ऑयल योर मशीन. इसी को अपनी जिंदगी मानकर मत बैठ जाओ. इट्स जस्ट टू मेंटेन एंड रिमेन फिट. Fit for what? The real job that we are here for, transcendental loving service of the Lord. Mudha, as Prabhupada says, you rascals. Again, he starts from scratch. You are not this body, you are a soul. इस बॉडी को ही सब कुछ मान के मत बैठ जाओ. So, he is therefore immune to all the reactions of his endeavors. Like an animal, he has no proprietorship even over his own body. This body is not for you to go and scrub in the parlor. It is for you to scrub in the service of the Supreme Lord and his devotees. And how many hours do we spend at the spa and holidays and this and that? And how many hours do we spend in seva? That's for you to decide for yourself. Yet the animal does not protest. Isn't it? If a cruel proprietor of an animal sometimes kills the animal in his possession, yet the animal does not protest. How true this is. Sometimes masters kill their animals also in a fit of rage, for whatever reason. but the animal has no right to protest even death or killing, which is what we are. हमको न्योता देके पूछ के फॉर्म साइन करवा के थोड़ी ही हम आ जाएंगे, ठीक है कल आ रहा हूँ, हाँ, इज इट सूटेबल, सूट करेगा, काम वाम खत्म कर लेना, जो भी पेंडिंग वेंडिंग काम हो, आपको जरा न्योता एक प्रायर इंटीमेशन देगा, मैं आ रहा हूँ, हाँ 1 साल में कन्वीनियंट है आपको, नहीं नहीं 1 साल नहीं है, जरा एडजस्टमेंट कर लो. नो, we will be killed without notice, kicked out of this body. Still इस body को चमका चमका के मांझ के थकते नहीं हम. मैं मेरा, इसने मेरे साथ ऐसे कर दिया, उसने मेरे साथ ऐसे कर दिया, तुमने क्या किया कृष्ण के लिए, उसके ऊपर किसी का ध्यान ही नहीं है. नहीं, मेरे साथ बहुत बुरा हुआ, बहुत बुरा हुआ मेरे साथ, मैंने बहुत अच्छा किया सबका, मेरे साथ बहुत बुरा हुआ. इसी में सारी दुनिया की जिंदगी खत्म हो जाती है. लेकिन इस्कॉन में आने के बाद बिल्कुल थिंकिंग चेंज हो जाती है. मैंने क्या किया, व्हाट डिड आई डू, मतलब मैं दुनिया का सबसे पापी महामूर्ख इंसान. दिस इज द थिंकिंग. Thinking completely changes, that I am the most foolish person of this world who has done nothing but live for his own self, and now I have so much to improve. हो जाती है ना ये thinking क्या? This is the sign of real spirituality. नहीं तो 50-50 साल तक लोग मंदिर जा रहे हैं, मत्था टेक रहे हैं, लेकिन कोई चेंज ही नहीं आता भावना में, थिंकिंग में, एटीट्यूड में चेंज ही नहीं आता. बिकॉज आपने किसी बोनाफाइड शास्त्र या बोनाफाइड संप्रदाय से नहीं सुना. Isn't it? Does it make sense? So like an animal, he has no proprietorship even over his own body. Please mute whoever is making this noise. Nor does it have any real independence. We're talking about the animal. A Krishna conscious person fully engaged in self-realization has very little time to falsely possess any material object. For maintaining body and soul, he does not require unfair means of accumulating money. For maintaining body and soul, he does not require unfair means of accumulating money. He does not therefore become contaminated by such material sins. He's free from all reactions to his actions. Is this clear? आ गया ना समझ में? कोई डाउट, कोई ऑब्जेक्शन, कोई प्रोटेस्ट, कोई धरना देना, फेमिनिज्म, नेशनलिज्म, दिसइज्म, दैटिज्म. ओके, नेक्स्ट वर्स भाई जी.
हरे कृष्णा माता जी,
हाँ
आज
जी.
स्लाइड्स को नहीं दिखाया, स्लाइड्स नहीं दिखाई.
स्लाइड्स नहीं इसलिए नहीं दिखाई क्योंकि मेरा बेटा मेरा लैपटॉप यूज कर रहा है, and I'm using the pad.
कोई बात नहीं.
So I'll post it in the group, so you can immediately after class you can see it.
थैंक यू.
ठीक है ना? Yeah. 22.
यदृच्छालाभसन्तुष्टो द्वन्द्वतीतो विमत्सरः समसिद्धावसिद्धौ च कृत्वापि न निबध्यते. He who is satisfied with gain which comes of its own accord, who is free from duality and does not envy, who is steady in both success and failure, is never entangled, although performing actions.
So a Krishna conscious person does not make much endeavor even to maintain his body. He is satisfied with gains which are obtained of their own accord. He neither begs nor borrows, but he labors honestly as far as is in his power, and is satisfied with whatever is obtained by his own honest labor. He is therefore independent in his livelihood. He does not allow anyone's service to hamper his own service in Krishna consciousness. This was Vedic India. Actually, दुनिया में कहीं नहीं है ये, this culture except in India. Everybody was an independent business owner actually. Isn't it? Everybody. So we did not depend on a job or on the boss. We lived off the land and buy the land. Neither did we have to beg or borrow, and we labored. Labor से जितना मिल गया, and we were independent and free. शाम को we were free to go home and do as we like, without any pressure. मतलब there was no excessive hard work and labor to be done to maintain one's family. However, for the service of the Lord, he can participate in any kind of action without being disturbed by the duality of the material world. The duality of the material world is felt in terms of heat and cold, or misery and happiness. A Krishna conscious person is above duality because he does not hesitate to act in any way for the satisfaction of Krishna. Therefore, he is steady both in success and in failure. These signs are visible when one is fully in transcendental knowledge. So all these are actually sadhak ke lakshan hai ye. This is how, this should be the attitude of a Krishna conscious person. Verse 22. So there is a story about Madhavendra Puri about this. So these are all the qualities of a very advanced devotee. A devotee on this platform does not even endeavor to beg for his livelihood. He completely depends on Krishna, who looks upon such a exalted soul with great affection. Jaise Shripad Madhavendra Puri is an example of this level of devotion. Madhavendra Puri neither worked nor begged for his food. काम भी नहीं करते थे, मधुकरी भी नहीं करते थे, beg भी नहीं करते थे. He ate only when someone was prompted by Krishna from within to offer him food. Completely on the mercy of the Lord. So when Madhavendra Puri traveled in Brajdham, Vrindavan, he refrained from begging. घर घर जाके जैसे ब्रजवासियों से कहते हैं, वो भी नहीं करते थे. One day Krishna saw his faith, affection and detachment, and he personally brought Madhavendra Puri some milk. Krishna as a small gwala, बहुत करते हैं वो ये ऐसे वृंदावन में. As the saint sat at Govind Kund near Govardhan Hill, the devotional consciousness of such a materially detached, spiritually attached soul is so sweet that it even attracts Krishna. So when you become so detached that you don't care for the maintenance of your own body, immediately Krishna gets all the tension and pressure. Oh God, he has completely left everything to me. I have to take care of him now. And he came personally to give him milk. Endowed with this consciousness, the devotee's mind is freed from the dualities of the material world. So when person does not have to even worry about his livelihood, maintenance of his body, is there any stress in his life? Zero stress, zero anxiety. They really don't care about the political scene, about anything going on. Hurricane, earthquakes, nothing. This is real peace. All day the conditioned soul sees good and bad. He yearns for pleasure and tries to avoid distress. The devotee is above such considerations because he sees Krishna's hand in everything that occurs. So everything that's happening is actually a plan and is going exactly as per plan. There's no need to be in anxiety. दुनिया का क्या होगा, कंदहार का क्या होगा, पॉलिटिकल सीन का क्या होगा, वीजा का क्या होगा, कोविड का क्या होगा, वैक्सीनेशन का क्या होगा. The devotee is above such considerations because he sees Krishna's hand in everything that occurs. Should we stop here? Should we take one more verse? 23rd भी ले लेते हैं, 5 वर्स हो जाएंगे. What do you say?
Yeah, we can do.
Okay, YG. Because the next verse is going to introduce Yagya. So let's take that verse. 23.
Gata sangasya muktasya jnanavastita chetasaha yajna Yajnaya charata karma samagram praviliyate. The work of a man who is unattached to the modes of material nature and who's fully situated in transcendental knowledge merges entirely into transcendence.
Becoming fully Krishna conscious, one is freed from all dualities and thus is free from the contaminations of the material modes. He can become liberated because he knows his constitutional position in relationship with Krishna. And thus his mind cannot be drawn from Krishna consciousness. Consequently, whatever he does for Krishna, who is the primeval Vishnu. Therefore, all his works are technically sacrifices because sacrifice aims at satisfying the Supreme Person Vishnu, Krishna. The resultant reactions to all such works certainly merge into transcendence, and one does not suffer material effects. So, yajna actually means karma, action. That's the meaning of yajna, sacrifice. So, once you become Krishna conscious, whatever you do becomes a yajna, becomes a sacrifice. Because you are now doing it as an obedient servant of Krishna. So, whatever you do is yajna. Here, Prabhupada translates yajna as for the sake of Krishna. This is the meaning of yajna. Because who is the yajnapati? Vishnu or Krishna. सारे यज्ञ किसको प्लीज करने के लिए है? अग्नि किसका प्रतीक है? अग्नि is the mouth of Vishnu. And whatever you are putting into the Agni is actually your offering to Vishnu. And he is accepting it through the medium of Agni. So, therefore, Yagnaya means for the sake of Krishna. How many of us know this? Kahan pata tha ye? Our work is automatically situated in transcendence when it is performed as a sacrifice for Krishna's pleasure. So, whatever we speak, eat, think, and do should be to please Krishna. Then all our actions become yajna. Isn't it? Krishna will describe a variety of sacrifices now. In the coming verses, Krishna is going to describe all the different kinds of yajna. Because these sacrifices have transcendental knowledge. So we should not underestimate the importance of acquiring this knowledge, this transcendental knowledge. Because knowledge about Krishna, the Jivatma, and about this material world, the Prakriti, and the process of Bhakti Yoga, all this is what? Tahan Vistarit Hana Phale, Prema Phala Ihari Mali, Sheche Nitya Shravanadi Jal. Shravanadi Jal. मतलब ये जो भक्ति लता है, ये जो क्रीपर है भक्ति का, this greatly expands in Golok Vrindavan planet. And there it produces the fruit of love for Krishna. Although remaining in the material world, the gardener regularly sprinkles the creeper with the water of hearing and chanting. So we will close this class with this beautiful picture in mind. And I'll post it in the group if there is this picture. आपको ये जीवन मिला है एक पौधा लगाने के लिए. ठीक है? जो माली है वो ये शास्त्र है. शास्त्र ये दिस इज द टू डू बुक है ना. गार्डनिंग की सेल्फ हेल्प बुक्स आती है ना, हाउ टू मैनेज योर ओन गार्डन, ऐसी कितनी सारी किताबें आती हैं. सो भगवद गीता इज सच अ बुक कि ये पौधा कैसे लगाएं. सो उस बुक को पढ़ें. उस बुक के हिसाब से ये जो भक्ति लता बीज है इसको आप गाड़ दें जमीन में मतलब अपने हृदय की जमीन में इसे बो दें और फिर इसमें रोज पानी दें. श्रवणम कीर्तनम का रोज पानी दें. And then you will see this creeper growing. Okay? And this whole life has been given to you to take care of this creeper. इसको डेली आपने पानी देना है. श्रवणम कीर्तनम. और वीडिंग भी करनी है बीच बीच में, है ना. जंगली घास उग जाती है, अनर्थास आ जाते हैं, उनको भी साथ के साथ निकालते रहना है. वीडिंग वो खुरपाई से करते हैं ना, what is it called, उड़ाई बोलते हैं, वो भी साथ के साथ करते रहनी, and this creeper will start growing. And if you continue to water it with Shravanam and Kirtanam, this, although its root will be on planet Earth in the material world, it's actually going to grow, pierce this material sky. ये जो हमारी sky है, material world को उसने ढका हुआ है. It will pierce that sky and enter the spiritual world. और नीचे आप तो नीचे ही हो, पानी डालते जा रहे हो, वो meanwhile grow हो रहा है. स्पिरिचुअल स्काई को भी छेद कर, भेद कर और ऊपर चला गया, और अल्टीमेटली इट्स गोइंग टू रीच गोलोक वृंदावन का गेट. एंड वंस इट reaches Golok Vrindavan, it's just about touching Golok Vrindavan, then the flower of love will come. And once the flower of love for Krishna sprouts, then usi stem mein se you just have to enter that stem and it will take you straight into Golok Vrindavan. That becomes your visa. Such a nice picture, isn't it? So this actually helps us in correcting our goal of life. Don't get distracted. Main goal is, we are all gardeners. We are here to sow the seed and then grow this creeper and protect this creeper from too much sun, too much rain, too much cold. इसी की सेवा, इस क्रीपर की सेवा करना ही हमारे जीवन का एकमात्र उद्देश्य है. बाकी सब साइड बिजनेस है. And see that this creeper is regularly watered by Shravanam and Kirtanam. And this will become your ticket. Remember that word. Everyone flies their own airplane. Nobody is going to come and help you once you are airborne. We are not in a Boeing. हम इकट्ठे नहीं जा रहे हैं. हम सब अपने अपने इंडिविजुअल प्लेन में हैं. वन सीटर सेस्ना प्लेन आता है ना, हम सब अपने अपने वन सीटर में हैं. सिंगल इंजन या ड्यूअल इंजन होगा नहीं, एक ही हृदय है, तो सिंगल इंजन हम सबका प्लेन है. हाँ, ये जरूर है, हम इकट्ठे ऐसे हैं कि हम सबके प्लेन इकट्ठे उड़ रहे हैं. From our plane, from our cockpit, we can see each other. Oh, तुम्हारा भी उड़ रहा है मेरे बगल में, मेरा भी उड़ रहा है. Okay, we are all together. लेकिन अगर तुम्हारा या हम में से किसी का भी इंजन फेल हुआ तो हम एक दूसरे की मदद नहीं कर सकते. We are all responsible for our own airplane. How important it is, and how serious also this is. It's a serious thing. We cannot take it lightly. Tell me, do you really have time now to bicker about bacche, rishtedar, this, that? It's nonsense. Nobody is going to come and fly our aeroplane for us. We are the pilot of our own aeroplane. And this Bhakti Lata Beej that has been given to all of us, ये हम सबके एरोप्लेन्स में इंडिपेंडेंटली ग्रो हो रही है. मेरा बीज अलग है, आपका बीज अलग है, आपका क्रीपर अलग है, मेरा क्रीपर अलग है. And our creeper only will take us when the plane falls, because engine कभी तो fail होगा ही, fuel कभी तो खत्म होगा. It does not have an unlimited supply of fuel. एक limited fuel डालकर ही हमें उड़ाया गया है ना. तो जैसे ही fuel खत्म होगा, you will hold that Bhakti Lata Beej, and that the moment the plane falls, you will have that Bhakti Lata to hold on to. You will not fall. Only the plane will fall. शरीर सिर्फ छूट जाएगा यहाँ पे, आप नहीं छूटोगे. And that Bhakti Lata Beej is your only lifeline, your only life jacket, your parachute, which is going to take you back home, back to Godhead. Now tell me how important it is to give time to your garden. Is it more important than your business, your job, your children, your spouse, your falana dhimkana? Big list. जिसकी हम इतनी एक्सक्यूजेस देते हैं, उसकी वजह से नहीं आ पाए, उसकी वजह से नहीं कर पा रहे हैं. Look at the precarious situation we ourselves are in. We are in a dangerous situation. Is it not? Hence, This should be our number one priority. And the good news is, if you make this your number one priority, all your other aspects of life automatically will be taken care of. That is Krishna's promise. That I give you, I preserve what you have, and I also supply you what you lack. और क्या चाहिए? What more do you want? That is why Yudhishthir said, this world is a mad world. Fools and mentally retarded people live here. They are not able to understand this. And they are wasting their precious time running after wealth and women and prestige and power. They don't realize कि वो कितनी खुद dangerous situation में है, पेड़ से लटके हुए हैं. वो दिखाया था ना एक picture, याद है? हमारी पोजीशन, देयर इज अ पेड़, बरगद का पेड़ है. उसकी एक डाल से एक आदमी लटका हुआ है और नीचे खाई है जिसमें जहरीले सांप है. कब तक पकड़ेगा डाल को? कभी तो गिरेगा. गिरेगा तो कहाँ जाएगा? बिच्छुओं में. और उसके ऊपर जो है मधुमक्खी का छत्ता लगा हुआ है उसकी ऊपर की डाल पे. और जिस डाल को उसने पकड़ा हुआ है उस पे 2 चूहे, मोटे मोटे चूहे आकर बैठ गए और वो उसको कुतरना शुरू हो गए. एंड दे आर बाइटिंग दैट. सो इट्स अ मैटर ऑफ टाइम. चूहा कितना कुतरता है, इतना इतना कुतरेगा. इट्स अ मैटर ऑफ टाइम बिफोर दैट डाल विल ब्रेक. इवन इफ यू डोंट मूव, मैं हिलूंगा नहीं, मैं कुछ नहीं करूंगा, मैं लटका रहूंगा कि डाल बची रहे, तब भी नहीं बच सकते क्योंकि चूहा तो अपना काम कर ही रहा है. और इतने में शहद, जो मधुमक्खी का शहद छत्ता है, उसमें से एक बूंद शहद की गिरती है, उसके मुंह पे गिरती है. उसको चखता है, कहता है सो टेस्टी. भूल जाता है कि मैं लटका हुआ हूँ नीचे पे. बिच्छू मेरा इंतजार कर रहे हैं और यहाँ चूहे मेरी डाल को काट रहे हैं. एंड जस्ट सेज वन मोर ड्रॉप, एक और ड्रॉप गिर जाए, देन आई एम रियली हैप्पी. आई एम टेकन केयर ऑफ. दिस इज आवर पोजीशन. दिस इज आवर पोजीशन. जरा सा कुछ सुख मिला, बिजनेस में कुछ अच्छा हो गया, रिश्तेदारों ने कुछ अच्छा कर दिया, घर वालों ने कुछ अच्छा बोल दिया, बड़े खुश हो गए, बस और कुछ नहीं चाहिए, इतना ही सुख बहुत है. अरे यू आर रेडी टू बी किक्ड आउट. Yavraj is going to come without notice and kick you out. You're not worried about that. You're not planning for that. जरा सा जो ऊपर से शहद गिर रहा है उसी को सब कुछ मानकर बैठ गए. That is why Yudhishthir called this world a fool's paradise. And thank God for Prabhupada कि उन्होंने हमारी आंखें खोल दी. ये अगर किताबें नहीं होती, कोई था हमें ये समझाने वाला? सब गीता पढ़ते हैं. किसी को समझ में आई ये बात कभी आज तक? कोई गीता पढ़कर कृष्ण भक्त नहीं बना आज तक. सब वो बन जाते हैं. What is the word? ज्ञानी बन जाते हैं. सब लेक्चर देना शुरू कर देते हैं. आओ हम आपको सिखाएं परमात्मा और आत्मा क्या होते हैं. Everybody becomes a lecturer after reading Gita. Nobody becomes a bhakt. Nobody becomes a servant of Krishna. Nobody becomes a lover of Krishna. Okay? So today in 1 hour, we went really fast and we finished 5 verses. किसी को कुछ शेयर करना है, कुछ बोलना है? You want to share your feelings, what you're going through right now? It'll become a revision for the rest. Rishma is very quiet today.
Hare Krishna, Vanita.
Haribol, Rishma. Were you with us the whole class?
Yeah, I was listening. Yes.
Okay.
I
Any
have a doubt,
realization?
but I have a doubt, but it will take a. I feel I know the answer also, so I don't want to ask you the question.
Oh, okay. You know the answer. Great.
No, I feel
You
I'll
can
find the
you
answer
can share
somehow.
the you can
But I will
share
tell
the
you
doubt
that
and
I
then
will
you
tell
can.
you the question. Yeah, I will tell you the question because whenever you say that we should have a bhakti lata and we should do it, I always have a doubt that shouldn't we also work sincerely here and do a karma yoga properly, and then we'll slowly get into that path of Krishna consciousness. Or should it be, something like sideways always? Keep it as one path and then your karma as another path. Is it like that? That is my doubt, actually.
It's a good question. Since you have, you are a recent joinee to the class, that's why you have this doubt. Old timers, which of you would like to answer this question? Anjali, you know it. All of you know it. जो 3 साल से जुड़े हुए हैं.
It
Please
is
answer,
never
Rishma.
too early. It is never too early to start on bhakti. I mean, we keep postponing. We keep saying ki I'll start on bhakti after I'm done with this. जो अपने कर्म कांड है, मतलब घर के काम या any other projects that we have, but it is never too early. When Yamraj strikes, पता ही नहीं चलेगा, and ऐसा का ऐसा ही रह जाएगा, धरा रह
वो
जाएगा.
देख लो, सिद्धार्थ को देख लो.
हाँ. Yes.
All of 40 years, just 40. और रात को
40.
सो के फोन पे बात करके सोया है कि मैं कितना सक्सेसफुल हो गया हूँ हॉलीवुड में, सॉरी बॉलीवुड में. यू नो आई एम फेमस, मैं बिग बॉस भी जीत गया, ये एवरीथिंग एल्स को अगले दिन उठा ही नहीं. बट हर क्वेश्चन इज डिफरेंट. हर क्वेश्चन इज इसको छोड़ के वो करना है, ये बाकी काम छोड़कर भक्ति करनी है, कि पहले भक्ति करनी है बाद में अपना कर्म करना है, या पहले कर्म करना है बाद में भक्ति करनी है. That's her
दोनों
question.
साथ साथ में करना
I
है.
think you cannot.
सारे कर्म have to be dovetailed towards Krishna. तो I mean, and दोनों साथ साथ में तो करना ही है.
Yeah. Yes, Parthi.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. I want to add in this कि भक्ति के लिए अलग से हमें कभी भी टाइम नहीं मिलेगा. This life will go on like this only, or and we going to busy without schedule only. तो भक्ति के साथ हमें अब जो अपना कर्म दिया है भगवान ने, टू मेक कृष्णा ऑफ द सेंटर ऑफ द लाइफ, उसके साथ हमें अपने सारे कर्म करने चाहिए एंड उनके अकॉर्डिंग, उनके विल के अकॉर्डिंग करने चाहिए. व्हाट कृष्णा हैज इंस्ट्रक्टेड अस, व्हाट आई गॉट थ्रू इन लास्ट 3 years, मुझे जो समझ में आया ये है कि निचोड़ जिसको बोलते हैं, कि भक्ति के लिए हमें अलग से बिल्कुल नहीं मिलेगा टाइम, and we're going to get more and more busy with all the kids and all, जैसे से वो ग्रो अप करेंगे. बट उसमें हमें अपने कृष्णा को बीच में सेंटर मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टेंट रख के अपनी लाइफ मूव करनी चाहिए आगे. जो जैसे अभी आपने कहा, जो अपना भक्ति लता बीज है उसको हमें आगे बढ़ाना चाहिए. पूरा पूरा जो हमने अभी सो किया है 3 साल पहले, वी शुड ग्रो अप, उसको आगे अपना अच्छे से पानी, केमिकल, सारे फर्टिलाइजर्स वगैरह डाल के उसको आगे से ग्रो करना चाहिए. That is the thing.
Yes. Rishma, did you get your answer?
Yes, I was just thinking in the same manner, because once when I listened to you, I was getting a feeling that, are you saying that we should, keep time for Kirtan? And of course that is there, but along with the work, shouldn't we go into Krishna consciousness? That is what I was thinking. So yes, I got the answer from what Bharti said. Yes.
So what is that then? What is the answer?
The main concern was, is it all the time that you spend on Kirtan and thing, or is it along with your karma, you keep Krishna as your center and do your work? So that was the thing. And also you develop your Krishna consciousness along with your work. It's not that it is separate part, that Kirtan or whatever you do. That's what I got it.
So actually the work that you're talking about, household work, has to be done in a Krishna conscious way. This is the meaning.
Yeah, that's what.
Whatever work you have been given, that of a wife, that of a daughter, that of a mother, that of a relative or a friend, all of these jobs now you have to do according to the instructions given in the Bhagwad Gita. Start correcting them.
Yes.
This is the meaning of bhakti.
Thank you very much.
This is the meaning of bhakti yoga. And this is what he told Arjun also. Arjun also said, okay, I don't want to fight. Krishna said, fighting is your karma. You have to fight because you're a Kshatriya. You can't leave it and run away. But you fight according to my instructions and for the reasons that I'm telling you, not for your own reasons.
Okay.
So
Yes.
lifestyle has to change. Krishna is saying very clearly when to get up, when to sleep, what to eat, what not to eat, how much, what kind of japa and kirtan to be done. He is giving all instructions. You have to do all of that according to, along with your duties.
Okay.
And the quality of your duty has to change. Earlier, we were doing our duties with a particular attitude. That attitude has to change now. We are doing it not for ourselves. We are now doing it for Krishna. And what does that mean? Because we are doing it for Krishna, we have to do it according to the instructions of Krishna.
Okay. Yes. Thank you. I got it. Thank you very much.
Anybody
This
else?
airplane wala incident, I first read it on the group only, Apna Nandini group. And then we have discussed this before also, ek baar. Today was the second time. So, you know,
Yes.
iska truth, the depth and the truth, it's getting so ingrained now that we are all
Yes.
actually alone. Nobody,
Alone.
the dearest, nobody can help you or save you or whatever. This is totally.
Nobody can help. ना
Nobody.
बच्चे काम आएंगे, कोई काम नहीं आएगा क्योंकि उनके अपने एरोप्लेन वो उड़ा रहे हैं. अपना उड़ाएंगे, तुम्हारा उड़ाएंगे.
I
बच्चों
actually
का
look at
अपना
it
प्लेन
as
अलग है. Sorry?
individually together in this journey. That's how I look at it.
Exactly.
We still have to go
Exactly.
individually, but together people are also coming with us. So, but we still have to go individually.
Yeah, so you can't neglect your journey at all in the excuse of husband, wife, children, garibi, amiri, whatever. जिस भी पोजीशन में आपको कृष्ण ने पैदा किया है, उस पोजीशन में रहकर आपको अपना एरोप्लेन का इंतजाम करना है. And he has given you sufficient time, and he has given you sufficient ingredients. He's given you sufficient knowledge. He has sent you sufficient helpers. फिर भी अगर आप अपना एरोप्लेन ना उड़ाओ और सुसाइड मिशन में लग जाओ, तो ठीक है, फिर अलकायदा मुबारक हो. You crash with your plane wherever you want to crash. Go ahead. सुसाइड मिशन ही कर रहे हैं ना. जो अपने बचाव के लिए प्लान नहीं बनाएगा, वो सुसाइड मिशन पे है. Isn't it? और हम क्या कह रहे हैं? अरे यार सुसाइड का भी टाइम नहीं है. अरे टाइम नहीं है यार. अरे सुसाइड मिशन पे है, प्लेन करने वाला. अरे यार टाइम नहीं है, छोड़ो, टाइम नहीं है. जहर खाने का टाइम नहीं है. ये बोलते हैं ना सारे मारवाड़ी. अरे जहर खाने का टाइम नहीं है. हाँ, मरने की फुर्सत नहीं है. जहर खाने का टाइम नहीं है. ठीक है, फिर गो अहेड, गो फ्लाई अ प्लेन. मुबारक हो आपको अपना सुसाइड बॉम्बर. बिकॉज व्हाट मोर कैन यू डू? हाउ मच मोर कैन यू हेल्प? इससे ज्यादा हेल्प नहीं की जा सकती किसी की भी. Isn't it? इससे एक और चीज भी समझ में आती है, जो मेरी समझ में आई. स्टॉप क्राइंग. वी क्राई सो मच. सेल्फ पिटी. ओह, this happened wrong with me, that happened wrong with me. I have been wronged by this person, I have been wronged by that person. I suffered so much. Self pity. Victims. We're all living lives of victims. There is no time for that. There is no time, and it's completely baseless, this feeling of victim, because we are only reaping what we have sown in our previous lives. ये जो अभी इस वक्त जो फल मिल रहे हैं, इसका पेड़ पिछले कुछ जन्मों में बोया हुआ था. अब फल मिल रहे हैं. अब खाते हो तो रो रहे हैं, खट्टे हैं. क्यों रो रहे हो? वेस्टिंग योर टाइम. So the blame game stops. One becomes content, bitterness goes away, and one becomes serious about flying their own aeroplane. है ना? Okay. So anything else does anyone have to say? I'll post the PPTs now once I get my laptop back. किसी को और कुछ कहना है? कुछ शेयर करना है? कोई realization?
I think Reshma's question also brought this example that you gave about King Janaka. So you'd mentioned that, that there are evolved souls like that who continue to be on this earth. They also can't run away from their prescribed duties. They continue to do their prescribed duties more to set an example for, their subjects.
Yes. Yes.
So the point is, it's like a prescribed duties. We definitely have to fulfill it, however evolved, we may reach depending on our station in life.
Yeah. But we do them like a faithful dog, not like the owner. The mentality should be that I'm a dog, a pet dog of a master. So I don't have my own will. I will go by the will of the master. And that's a good position because you don't have to take tension of anything. Master को tension है.
Yes, true.
आपकी maintenance की. उसका आपको क्या you? But वो हमारी ego ही हमें आने नहीं देती. हम कैसे बन जाए pet dog? अरे हम हैं. Okay. Okay. Who wants to repeat after me? Okay, Vaiji. Ekam Shastram.
Ekam Shastram.
Devaki Putra Geetam.
Devaki Putra Geetam.
Eko Devo.
Eko Devo.
Devaki Putra Eva.
Devaki Putra Eva.
Eko Mantras.
Eko Mantras.
Tasya Namani Yani.
Tasya Namani Yani.
Karmapi Ekam.
Karmapi Ekam.
Tasya Devasya Seva.
Tasya Devasya Seva.
Tvameva Mata cha Pita Tvameva.
Tvameva Mata cha Pita Tvameva.
Tvameva Bandhuscha Sakha Tvameva.
Tvameva Bandhuscha Sakha Tvameva.
Tvameva Vidya Dravinam Tvameva.
Tvameva Vidya Dravinam Tvameva.
Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva.
Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva.
Krishnaya Vasudevaya.
Krishnaya Vasudevaya.
Hare Paramatmane.
Hare Paramatmane.
Pranata Kalesha Nashaya.
Pranata Kalesha Nashaya.
Govindaya Namo Namaha.
Govindaya Namo Namaha.
Krishnaya Vasudevaya.
Krishnaya Vasudevaya.
Devaki Nandanaya cha.
Devaki Nandanaya cha.
Nanda Gopa Kumaraya.
Nanda Gopa Kumaraya.
Govindaya Namo Namaha.
Govindaya Namo Namaha.
Vasudevam Sutam Devam.
Vasudevam Sutam Devam.
Kamsa Chanura Mardanam.
Kamsa Chanura Mardanam.
Devaki Paramanandam.
Devaki Paramanandam.
Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum.
Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum.
Katyayani Mahamaye.
Katyayani Mahamaye.
Mahayogini Adhishwari.
Mahayogini Adhishwari.
Nanda Gopa Sutam Devi.
Nanda Gopam Sutam Devi.
Patim me kurute namaha.
Patim me kurte namaha.
Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama.
Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama.
Dasoham Krishna Tavasmi.
Dasoham Krishna Tavasmi.
Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Okay, Hari Bol.